Hey Commanders Nation, are you ready for a high-voltage showdown this weekend? What's coming up on the field is something no Washington fan will want to miss. First off, we've got a rival team's linebacker who thinks our rookie quarterback hasn't seen anything yet against their defense. Can our golden boy keep his cool and prove them wrong? And if that's not enough to fire you up, let's talk about our rookie wide receiver. This guy has been leaving it all on the field, and man, it shows. Not only is he setting a blistering pace, but he's also taking his game to the next level. From key blocks to jaw-dropping runs, this player is everywhere. It's not just passion, it's pure commitment. What's driving his rapid evolution, and how will it impact this Sunday? You've got to stick around to find out. But that's not all. Lamar Jackson, the elusive and electrifying QB of the Ravens, is in the crosshairs of our defense. We know stopping this guy is nearly impossible, but our defensive coordinator has a trick up his sleeve that could change the game's fate. Will it be enough to contain the fastest man in the league? Alright, here we go with something that's got me fired up. Listen up, Washington Commanders fans, and I want you to process this with me, because I'm telling you, this Sunday, we've got a giant challenge against the Baltimore Ravens, and everyone's talking about one name, Roquan Smith. This guy says our sensational QB, Jayden Daniels, hasn't seen a defense like theirs. And now I ask you, is that true? I don't think so. First, let's break down what Roquan Smith said. And hey, make no mistake, Smith is an outstanding player. He's been All-Pro twice, Pro Bowler the last 2 seasons, and yeah, he's leading the Ravens with 50 tackles in just 5 weeks. So far so good, I give him that. But when he comes out and says Daniels hasn't seen a defense like his, I wonder, what is he talking about? Jayden Daniels is a phenom, a rookie, yes, but a phenom nonetheless. Just look at what he did against the Browns last week. The guy played so well, he spent the 4th quarter sitting on the bench. He dismantled a defense that, up until that game, was in the conversation as one of the best in the NFL. So why is Roquan Smith so sure he can stop Daniels? I'll tell you this, fans, he hasn't seen the magic we've got in Washington. Now, let's talk about the Ravens' defense. They're nowhere near impenetrable. Sure, they're the #1 defense against the run, but what about pass defense? Ranked 31st. Out of how many teams? 32. That's practically the basement. So I ask you, what do you think is going to happen when our Jayden Daniels starts launching those deep balls? Here's where I bring up the next point. Yes, the Ravens brought back the legendary Dean Pease as an advisor. Dean Pease, folks, a name that commands respect. But does that really change anything? Because at the end of the day, it's the team on the field that has to execute. Not Pease, not Roquan Smith, but the 11 guys who will be trying to contain a Jayden Daniels that looks more confident, more explosive, more lethal with every week. And with a pass defense as weak as the Ravens, I'm telling you this, Washington has a real shot to do some damage. Now, I know some of you are going to say, oh, but the Ravens are a tough team. They're playing at home, they've got history. And yes, they are. But this Commanders team isn't last year's team or the year before. Jayden Daniels has brought new energy to this franchise, a confidence we haven't seen in years. And with the weapons he's got at his disposal, I'm telling you this, folks. This could be the game where Washington makes the statement of the season. Luke McCaffrey is turning heads, folks. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you thought that this guy, with just 2 years playing as a wide receiver in college, would actually make an impact in his rookie year in the NFL? I think, if we're being honest, not many saw it coming. But let me tell you this. Adam Peters saw it clearly from the start. He bet big on him in the 3rd round, and that bet is paying off. Now, why talk about McCaffrey right now? Because this guy isn't just any rookie receiver. No, sir. He's a player who's not only standing out with catches, but doing everything the team needs. What stands out the most? I'll tell you. It's not always the stats on the sheet that define a player, but those plays you don't see in the highlights, the ones that show their true passion for the game. For example, let's talk about that play against the Browns. Remember that 41-yard pass from Jayden Daniels to Dyami Brown? Yeah, of course, you remember. Well, it turns out McCaffrey was key in that play. No, he didn't catch the pass, but he threw a critical block on Myles Garrett, one of the most feared defenders in the league. Let me tell you this. That's what defines a complete player. One who understands that every play, every effort counts. And don't even get me started on his hustle during Eckler's 50-yard run. That was all heart. McCaffrey doesn't just run routes, he runs for the team. He was part of the play that saved the ball, with Olamide Zacchaeus recovering the fumble. According to Coach Dan Quinn, that was his favorite play of the season. Now why? Because it sums up what this team wants to be. A team that never quits, that always gives 110%. So let me ask you, is this a sign that McCaffrey is becoming the star receiver this team needs? Or is it still too early to say? Let me tell you something. His growth is rooted in his passion for football. And that's what defines great players. And yeah, he's not doing it alone. He's got a wide receivers coach like Bobby Engram guiding him. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to his hunger to learn and improve every day. Look at the numbers. 5 games, 10 catches, 98 yards, 5 first downs, and a 60% success rate. That puts him on track to be one of the best rookies in recent Commanders history. But it's not just about the numbers, folks. It's about what we see every Sunday. His energy, his commitment, and that passion he brings every time he steps onto the field. Let me tell you this, is McCaffrey already a key piece to this team's success? Without a doubt. And if he keeps this up, we're talking about a third-round steal. But now I ask you, do we think this work ethic and passion that McCaffrey shows can be contagious for the rest of the team? Because at the end of the day, that's what the Commanders need. A team that gives it all, every play, every week. Commanders, how the heck are you going to stop Lamar Jackson? I'm telling you, it's no easy task. This Sunday, our team, the Washington Commanders, faces off against the Baltimore Ravens, and of course, Lamar Jackson is lurking. This guy can change the game in an instant, and we know it, but what are we going to do about it? Now I ask you, do you think we have what it takes to stop him? I believe what we're up against this weekend isn't just a challenge, it's a character test for our defense. We're coming off a tough game in Week 5 against the Browns. Their defense put us under serious pressure, and if I'm honest, there were moments I wondered if we were going to be able to breathe. And now, we're up against Lamar. This man doesn't just run. He flies. He extends plays like he's got all the time in the world, escapes defenders, and suddenly, bam, a deep bomb pass, or worse yet, he's running for 30 yards untouched. So what do we do? Because it's not just Lamar. He's got an offensive line that protects him like he's the president himself. Now, our defensive coordinator, Joe Witt Jr., has made it clear. The strategy is to cage Jackson. Keep him in the pocket, but listen closely. That's no cakewalk. I'll tell you this, when you try to trap him, you give him the chance to slip out the middle. He's so fast that if you blink, he's already gone. Witt Jr. said something interesting, and I like that he's keeping his cards close to his chest. He gives us a hint of what we'll try, but keeps the mystery alive. And that gets me thinking. I believe they're cooking up something big. They can't reveal the whole plan to us, and I get it. We don't want the Ravens getting a leg up on us. But I ask you, don't you feel like Washington's defense is gearing up to surprise? Because I'm telling you, if we don't have something ready to stop Lamar, this could get ugly. What interests me the most, and here's my question for you, is how we're going to handle those gaps that our pressure leaves behind. Every time we try to contain him, we risk him escaping through the middle. So are we going to adjust our pressure? Will we see more blitzes? I don't know about you, but I'm curious to see if this defense can really adjust and do what it takes to slow down a guy like Lamar Jackson. Now here's my final thought. This game isn't just crucial for our season, it's also about proving that we can compete against the best. Lamar Jackson is a challenge, yes, but he's not invincible. If we follow Witt Jr.'s plan, we have a shot. Before this video wraps up, I want you to answer me something, Commanders Nation. Do you think Jaden Daniels can take advantage of the Ravens' weak pass defense, or will the experience of players like Roquan Smith make a difference? I can't wait to read your thoughts. So, drop your comments below. And speaking of offensive power, do you think McCaffrey is the receiver that will take us to the next level? Or are we just witnessing the beginning of something bigger for Washington? I want to hear what you think, because the action is just getting started. Now, one last question. Will our defense be able to stop Lamar Jackson? Or will we see him slip away this Sunday? Tell me what you think will happen and join the conversation in the comments. This is just the beginning, fans. Here on our channel, we're one big family passionate about the Commanders, and I want you to be part of it. subscribe, and become a part of this growing community. Don't miss a single video, because here, every piece of news matters. And remember, hail to the Redskins!